All right, and here we are, the Commissioner's Corner, episode 29. Wow. Power Rankings number 5, sponsored by Funres. If you need any help with any of your residential mortgages, they are definitely the place to go to. Know many people have used them for their mortgages and they were thrilled with them. So this episode sponsored by Funres.
By the way, I know at least one person in our league, and we could talk about it later maybe, just got their mortgage done, just had a closing recently done by Funres and had a great experience with them. So someone in our league, a big player in our league, got it done by them. He's very happy with them. If
Is there
anybody's
HIPAA rule? Is there HIPAA rules regarding that? Are we allowed
well,
to say?
so it really is. It really is. Like no one likes to talk about it
Right?
unless the person tells you himself. So I don't know. That's off the air maybe. They're also looking now for more loan officers. They're willing to train. If anybody wants to become a loan officer, great business environment. Reach out to me and I will put you in the right direction to get set up there. Funres Mortgage. All right,
Awesome,
Ezzy.
awesome. Last week was a great week, and we'll talk about the upcoming games. And like we said, this league is stacked with lots of talent. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot of great games last week. Two games that was announcing actually went down to the wire.
You
So
had
some
the good
great
ones. You had the
action.
good ones.
I got the good ones last week. But before we get there, Yitz, tell me, how was Shabbos? Or do we want to skip that?
I mean, Shabbos was great. First of all, I'm just letting the people know this will not be a 2 hour podcast, so you don't have to worry about that. Even though it was awesome the last podcast, everybody watched it. Maybe we'll do an hour and a half this one. Shabbos was great. Shabbos was great. We had the former MSL players in shul. The Deutsch made a bar mitzvah. Yitzi Deutsch,
Oh,
big Jets
Mazel tov.
fan, made a bar mitzvah for his twins today. So we had, Benny Deutsch back from Israel for it. Noam Deutsch there. All the MSL boys. A lot of our junior league excited for the playoffs tomorrow. Those seventh graders, YSV guys, all ready to go. I already told Orlean he's suspended for the game tomorrow because he had three svarim on his table. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? so, but it's good. He had Mendy Rosen trying to get more players for his softball team. JB was there, and Mendy's making a big play for him. Um, no, it was good times, good times. How about you?
Awesome. Awesome. Shabbos was great. Shabbos was great. Personally, I made a siyum. I made a siyum with my
Oh,
chavrusa that I've been learning with Jack Wurtzberger.
Orlean, Orlean.
No, Jack Wurtzberger made a siyum in Avodah Zarah, in Masechet Avodah Zarah. So really, it was a big moment. It was his first siyum. He's 69 years old. It's his
Wow.
first siyum he's making. So it was a
Congratulations.
lot of drinking, dancing. It was a big occasion in Jew. So I'm still but
Good you
I'm
didn't
pretty
drink
much
until
there.
Purim.
I had to pace myself for Shabbos. So it was definitely a great Shabbos. And now it's everybody been waiting for this, especially after last week's games. Lots of players came in. We better move to number one. We better move up. We better move up because
Right.
some big games happened last week and some upset wins and everything. So I'm excited myself to see how this is all going to play out in this power rankings. So let's get to it right away. I'm
Right.
excited to talk about the power rankings and the games.
You're right. So I mean, we know guys watch the power rankings, and we know it's a big conversation with everybody, right? Um, and it played out this week, as we'll talk about later, how the power rankings fueled some teams and fueled some players. We know YU Svarm Sale constantly talks about it. We're gonna move up. We're gonna move up. And they had a tough game this week against Funres. We have day three, who also wants to move up, and they had a tough game against Smash House. Premium, Hassano is like, God, I feel just, got to move me up. We have a good team. We could have won. These guys are fueled by the power rankings. And this week we had some great games that came down to the wire. We only had 4 games this week because of Perm, so we moved the games to Thursday. We had both courts at Mawa, so the action was loud. We had whistles blowing all over the place. Was it my court? Was it their court? And we had some great games. So we'll jump straight into the power rankings. Even though there were only 4 games, there were some moves in the power rankings, and this might be This might be the power rankings that puts people over the edge, and this might be it. So
Let's go,
So
baby. I'm
let's jump
excited.
right into it right now. Number 11 in the power rankings after starting the season 1 0 with a big win over Totally Accounting. They have now dropped 4 in a row. Speedy Funding down to number 11 in the power rankings. Last week they were also 11. This week they played Gotavi, and Gotavi was missing some of their guys, and they were still able to put it to Speedy. Speedy was missing Gollum. Speedy was missing Cement. So they were missing some guys as well. I was doing that game. And Speedy, Fahi put up some points, but they can never really stop Gotavi. Some huge games from some of the Gotavi players we'll talk about later when we get to them.
So,
Number
so what
11,
do you think? What do you think happened to Speedy Funding? We were excited about them. The Fachi start off, the season hot and the ball movement. What has changed? Do you see anything that may have changed with that team?
I think it's what we thought before the season started. I think they're just not as good as they were that first game. That first game was an outlier. Fahi had the game of his life that game, and he's still playing well. He still leads the league in scoring at 18 a game or so. He started the season at 25 a game or 30 a game. And if he's not scoring, as we saw the last 4 weeks, where are they getting the rest of the scoring from? It's not coming from anywhere. It really isn't. Cement does an okay job getting inside, getting some points. Fachi, brother, they had two other Fachis. They hustle, they get some points, just not enough. They scored 27 points last week, and this week, I'll tell you, they scored maybe less. What they scored this week? They scored 37. So they're not really scoring a lot of points. They're not getting the points. So Fachi's putting up 20 points, and they're only scoring 28, 29.
So the
That's
question is, basically, they need somebody else to step up as a scorer there for them
right.
to do
I,
any damage. And
I
you
don't
see
see.
the league now, every team has a two, and some of them have three scorers that, if they lock down one guy, there's going to be other people to step up. So I guess they
Plus,
need somebody on that team to step up.
plus, they're very small. They're a small team. Oren was there this week. Oren was their big man. We know he's a legend. He's older now. He had to play the whole game. He got some rebounds, but they need other big men out there. Oren shouldn't be playing the whole game, and he knows it, and they know it, and they don't have that other big man, and that's why they're losing now. And they're down to number. And remember, they beat Schwabel that game one. Schwabel's not a big team either, so everything went right for them that game. Number 10 in the power rankings. They did not play this week. They were number 10 as well last week, and that is Vision Vinyl. They stay at number 10. Let's move straight up to number 9. Number 9 this week was at 8 last week, and they lost two Totally Accounting this week. That's Premium. Premium lost to Schwabel and Newman. You're not going to beat them that often when those guys are there. Premium was missing I'll say their two best players. They were missing Hassan and Cam Rosenthal. Two huge, if they're not there, even though they still had guys, Zeev, they had Trimler, they had Gutmacher, they had Stim, they had G. They had guys there. Not enough. Not enough.
Not enough. If you're missing Hassan and you're missing Cam, that's those are your guys that are
They
going to
had Tobin there.
carry your
You
team.
know, on a game like that, when Hassan and Cam aren't there, I wanted Tobin to score 20. Bring back the old Tobin. Just take over and he put up a few points, but that's the game when your guys aren't there, right? What are you watching an NBA game? When the star's out, when Luka and LeBron are out, Austin Reeves puts up 35 points, right? Tobin, this was his chance. Your guys are out, your stars are out. Score 30. Keep your team in the game. It didn't happen. And they lost. And they're not going to win without Hassan and Cam. And that's where they dropped the spot. So they're still, a feisty team. They're going to win some games when everybody's there. But they ran into Schwabel and Newman. And not easy. Number 8. This team is moving up. They were number 9, I think, last week. Gotavi gets their first win of the season. We knew it was going to come. It had to come. They were better than their 0-3 record. They lost a few games down at the buzzer, and this time they got Speedy Funding, which was an easier matchup for them, but they did it without some of their key players. Augenstein wasn't there. Ackerman wasn't there. None of the Jacobys were there. Neither of them were there. They still had enough. You had Buff, Braun, Tepler,
I saw Buff. I'm going to jump in here. I saw Buff
Edelman.
practicing shooting. He
There you
hit
go.
8 in a row 3-pointers. He said, "I'm coming. I got to score more," and he was just firing away. How did that translate to the game? How was
Listen,
Buff's
Buff had a
game?
great game. Buff had 18 points. He had a few threes. He had a few fast breaks. He played great defense. Alicia Edelman was hitting everything. He's the big man, and he was shooting
Right.
threes. He was shooting mid range. He was hitting everything. I mean, they couldn't really stop him. You know, who's been a huge pickup for them this year is what's his name? Ruben. Zevi Rubin. He's
Yeah.
playing great. He's playing great for them. He played the point for most of the game, and they were just too strong. You know, Malcolm Brogdon's got great footwork down low, and he's huge. And Gotavi's going to win games. We know that. You know, they played very close against Nojo 2 weeks ago. They lost
Yep.
at the
Yep.
buzzer, basically. They were there all game with them, and they lost to Totally Counting at the buzzer, right? Schwabel at the three at the buzzer. So
That's
they're right
right.
there. They're not a 1-3 team, and they'll move up. They're a good team, and they are now, as I said, at number 8. Number
I'm
7,
hold I'm holding myself back this week from saying, and I expect them to move up in the rankings.
you didn't say it yet to anybody, so
I'm holding back. I'm holding back.
they did move up one spot. This team's staying the same, totally accounting. They were 7 last week, 7 this week. Remember, last season they were on top all year. They were number 2, number 3, number 2, number 3. They started out the season 0-3. They've won now, and I think they've won 2 in a row now, I think, or 2 out of 3. Josef Schwabel, great leader. You know, he's getting married very soon, so he went up for a fast break and he got fouled and he got hurt, and that's scary. You know, when you're getting married in 2 weeks and you go up and he plays tough. He almost
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
triple double. I think he had
He look
15.
he looks for contact, but in a smart
Right,
way. We have some
right,
players in the
right.
league. They go up against 3 guys and they
No,
expect fouls, and he knows when to push it, when
he's
to
strong,
open up
strong.
his game for threes. But he's a strong guard with great vision of the
I
court.
say, I said it during the game when I was calling the game. He's like a locomotive going downhill. When he gets that
Mm,
ball on the rebound, and you see he's going to go coast to coast. He's going straight to that basket. It's a
mm,
beeline to
mm.
that basket. Sometimes he'll miss it with the contact, but most of the time he gets that contact. He either gets it in and one or gets the foul. Huge game. He had 10 assists. He could have had 15 assists. They missed a lot of layups. What's his name had a great game? Newman, Ehrman, Ralph's brother. Everyday Ralph's brother, Yoel Ehrman, came to play. He had 19 points, I believe, or 18
Oh,
points.
wow, nice.
He was hitting threes. He was getting rebounds. Played great defense. Whoever he was taking, he shut down. And then Donovan Newman with his typical 18 points could have had 50 points. He missed a lot of layups, but they had a great game, and it was a 3-man machine. You know, Justin was there; they didn't even need his scoring. Silber was there. Avi Schwabel was able to get in the game, and Avi got a basket from Yosef. So Yosef got an assist
Really
to a score.
nice.
And then Avi got an assist later on, an inbounds pass. So Avi got some playing time, and you know he came in the game, and he's like Bronny James. He comes in the second he gets the ball, everybody's cheering, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, and he hit it. He got a basket. They won by about 15-20. They stay at number 7, but Ezzy, they stay at number 7. What do you think?
You know what? I'm hesitating saying they're going to move up because with Yosef Schwabel, getting married soon. If he's going to miss any time, you know, they're in a good spot here. But again, it'll depend on the playing time from Newman and from Yosef Schwabel. That's really what's going to come down
That
to.
really is. You're right. Number 6 in the power rankings, and they moved up from 2 weeks ago. We didn't do it last week with their second win of the season. They did not play this week, so it's basically the same one as last week. I didn't do it again. Wabisseri is at number 6, 2-2. We don't have to talk about them now. We'll talk about their game later on because they have a huge game this week. Now, here's where it gets fun. Where it gets fun, the top 5. So, drum roll, please.
Let's go.
So at number 5, they were at number 3 last week. So they dropped down to number 5, and that is Funres Mortgage, who had a great, tight, gritty game against YU Svarm Sale. As you saw that game, tell me what you saw from Funres and why they moved down to number 5.
Funres, that was a great game. Funres YU, that went down to the wire. Chaim Shulman got hot, then got hurt, and then got hot again. And I was saying it on the broadcast. I was saying, guys on YU, you better make sure Chaim Shulman doesn't get too hot because he will completely obliterate you. And Radinsky, they just played. They played a solid game. I can't knock how they played. They all played well together. Every Katz had some plays. Radinsky, you know what you get. You're getting. Greenwald plays great defense, but they got outrun, I would say. They got outrun by a quick YU's Firm team. YU's Firm just
We'll
gassed.
get to
They
we'll
just
get to YU. We'll get to them in a
we'll
minute.
get to them. But Funres played a great game. It went down to the wire, and they
They
had the
had all the
ball.
guys there, right? They had all the guys there.
Yeah, and they went down to the wire. They had the ball down two with 33 seconds left. Shot clock went. They were able to hold it until
No,
three seconds.
it was tied up,
Oh, I'm sorry, it was tied up.
and they
Tied
were
up.
holding the
The
ball. Yeah.
ball with 33 seconds left, and they could have held it down to seven. They took a shot with like 15 seconds left, and that was too much time to leave on the clock. So that was a bad end for a team coached by Moshe Shulman. I was surprised that they ended the game in that way, where there was a rush, a shot there, gave too much time for YU's Farm. So they worked, but again, they were tied with 33 seconds left. So I give them credit. They really played a fine game. Nothing that I can nitpick on.
Okay, but they're number 5 now. They dropped, which means as the teams had to,
Someone had to move down somewhere.
someone moved up. That's for sure. Number 4, this team did move down, and we're gonna probably get some slack for this. I'm blaming it on Ezzy. This team did not play last week, and they move from number 2 to number 4 without even playing, and that is Nojo Promo. So what does that mean? If Nojo Promo moved down
Somebody
and
has to
Funyuns
move up,
moved
as I
down,
predicted, as I was predicting all season. Teams got to move up.
so the first team to move up in the power rankings, and they were number four last week or 5. They're now number 3, and they want the respect, and they're getting it. YU Svarm Sale moves up to number 3 with the big win against Funres. How'd they win that game, Ezzy?
You know what? YU's from they play a tough defense, and they're just quick. They're not a big team. So again, matchups we'll always talk about. The matchup worked heavily in their favor. But let me tell you this, Googie, this kid was, I was watching the game, and I said he's like Russell Westbrook, who can actually score from the outside.
So
He just
he's
gets
not Westbrook, he's Westbrook.
Westbrook. He's Westbrook. He gets the ball and he just goes, and he's in control. He's not an out of control player where he's just running wild. He's a great passer, great shooter, and if I'm going to say, probably the quickest guy in our league with the
Whoa,
ball. Yeah,
Ezzy, you say that about a lot of people. You do.
I know, but there's something about this that his speed and the control. So he played a great game. Dahari this week, who the last week struggled, this week was consistent throughout the game, and in back-to-back weeks when they needed a bucket, they go to the score, Dahari, and bam, with 2 seconds left,
It was like 7
they
seconds
get him
left. Yeah.
open. It was how many seconds left? 7 seconds.
7 seconds because Shulman had a half court shot where Katz got a rebound. He had a chance to put it back and he missed, and then he put it
Right.
back again, but that was after the buzzer. But yeah, so about 7
So,
seconds left.
so 7 seconds left. A great pass from Googie to Dahari, and once again in back-to-back weeks, he gets the finishing shot. Beitler, great mid-range shot. A great mid-range shot. Also, he got speed. So that team definitely has speed between Dahari, Guggenheim, Beitler, Wiener. Wiener played this week. Also, very solid, good outside shot. And
Feinside has speed.
Feinside, I didn't say that, but Feinstein's the last time I said the guy's a good role player, he got insulted. So, so I'm not going to use the word, but they're a very well balanced team. I like to see how they match up against the tougher teams, like when we talk about Smash House,
He played
where they have the
Smash,
big
buddy.
bodies, right? And so
Right.
those are the teams, and they went up. They went up. They were up at one point against them.
And
But
then,
I was impressed this week with watching, how Googie played the game.
out.
And they used to call his father Money. They called Ephraim Guggenheim. They called him Money. If Ephraim Guggenheim was money, he was single-dollar bills. This kid is $100 wads of cash, baby. That's how much better he is than his father. And
And
I know he's gonna see this.
how, how are we're always worried about them, the way they react to the refs or Were they under control?
I have to say this. There was a little whining, but it didn't affect their play. Like between plays, a few players come over to me and go, Ezzy, do you see that? He missed that. Do you see that? But they didn't let it affect their game. The calls were being missed this side. There was no, in a regular game, it balances out. I always believe you watch these games, you always feel it's going against you, but it balances itself out. So they did not let any reffing get in the way. They may have been complaining, but between plays and when stoppage of times, they were getting back. Even if they felt ball went off the other team, and they went back to play defense. They were
They
just
got to do it.
they played great. I was very impressed with how they played overall, and they definitely deserve to move to that number 3 spot for this week.
And now number two, in a big shocker, number two in the power rankings, dropping from the number one spot are the defending champs, Smash House. They drop to number two, lose a heartbreaker by one, missed two free throws, and ended the game basically there. They're down by one. They have a guy in the line to take two free throws. He misses both. Game over. Day three inbounds it and Smash. Who would have thought? I thought they were going to be number one also. Like Wabissery last year. I was waiting and waiting and waiting. They never went down. Smash House.
This game was a great, great game, and let's talk about both teams then. So who moves to the
Number
number 1 spot?
one. Number one in the power rankings is day three. Day three is number
Wow.
one. I just want to say
Wow.
something. I forgot about this. We're going to go to day three in a minute and that game. The reason why, by the way, why you and Nojo are both 3-1, right? They both lost to Smash House, the same team. Why did I put YU ahead? I just want to get back because I know people. YU had a much tougher strength of schedule than Nojo Perlman this year. So YU, based on their strength of schedule, I move them ahead. They beat tougher teams than Nojo Promo. So that's right. Let's go now back to this game. Smash House and day three. Day three takes the number one spot. Wow. Who would have thought that day three would be able to win this game? I walked into the game. I got there before you. I was speaking to Damsky. It's like, we're in trouble. He sees Paul there. He sees Gutman. He sees Langer. Like, we have no center. What are we going to do? Our guys aren't in
And
there.
day 3 was missing Friedman, who's
Khalil
their
Friedman.
center, who hits from the outside. So I was like, hey, this is a little off matchup here. But I'm going to use the word, and I always say this about Smash House. I say that they can play offense blindfolded. They know where everybody's going to be. They play together. They have played together for years. And the word I was using all night is that day three's defense was disruptive. They were disruptive. Smash House just had trouble getting any rhythm going on offense. They just couldn't. Their day threes, their hands getting day
And
three out rebounded Smash House. Now
that's
we're talking about
crazy.
Smash
Crazy.
House with Langer, Gutman, Paul, and it's called David Katz. These are big players. Day three out hustled them. Day three out rebounded them, and the game went down to the wire. Again, it went down to the wire. Missed free throws by Smash House, and look, the guy who I want to
Uh-huh.
talk about, the guy who I want to talk about, would like to welcome Gav Perlman to the Commissioner's Corner. Gav, how you
Smash
doing?
House
Thank you very
player of
much.
the game last week, Gav Perlman. We're just talking right now about the game. Smash is day three. Now we'll tell you because you're on it. We just finished the power rankings, and
Okay.
day three, number one in the power
Let's
rankings with their win.
go.
So you are the first one to know about it before anybody else.
Well, I
Ezzy was
was
just
I was
about to
talking
talk
with
about your
Dembski.
game, but you are here now. Ezzy, introduce it. Tell us what you saw.
This is what I'm gonna say. This is I watched the game, and as I was saying, day three's defense was disruptive. Was disruptive. Didn't let Smash House get into any rhythm at all. But there's one thing that stood out. They all played great. Damsky played great. Konigsberg played great. And they were missing Freeman, missing players. But there was one player that, when he was on there, just looked like a beast, determined to play and to show what type of player he is, and he was not going to let Smash House bully them. And he was going up against Paul. He was going up against David Katz, who was guarding him, and we're talking about Gav. Gav, you literally had such an impact on the game
He
that
had a chip on
it
his
seemed
shoulder.
it seemed to me that you came to the game possessed. Tell me how you're feeling going into the game and the game how it played out.
That was a crazy game. Crazy game. Yeah, I was going in because we've been. I had a little history with these guys.
As you I
Championship
understand
won,
exactly.
championship
Before the history,
lost.
before this, as do you see Gob's full face or it's only half?
Yeah, I see Gav's full face.
Okay, good, fine. No, that's okay. Continue. Yeah, sorry. He has a history. I want to hear this.
The history is a championship won, championship lost.
That's true. You played.
And these guys are on top. I mean, that's with my old team, but and we're down guys. I felt like I need to step up. And I told Ezzy, I don't know if it made the status. He put it on the status. I didn't
Of
see it.
course, of course, we
I
put up
didn't
that.
see it.
Everything by us is open.
You
Everything
know
by
what?
us is open.
Being called a role player, I take it as a compliment because I think I can come onto a team and make an impact even if it's quiet. But that definitely got me.
For the record, it was Ezzy who called you a role player, right? Not me.
I know.
And I told Gav, I called him. I've called him a great role player, and I said as a compliment. In the past, you've played with Hakaki and an Azer, and I say it as a compliment. You know your role as a role player. I will
Yeah.
tell you this: after watching day 3, your game against Smash House, you were no role player. You stepped up with a team that needed you. When you were able to go at them, and they were guarding you hard, you went at them. And you know what? Also, your 3-pointer, you were hot.
I don't know where
You
that
were
came
feeling
from.
it. You were feeling it.
I don't know
He
where
was
it came
feeling
from.
it. He was just.
It was flowing. It was flowing that night.
And when the 3-point, when that was falling, it opened up. You have a great first step to the basket. You have a great Euro step. Also, you're very shifty when you get past your first defender. And I felt that 3-pointer opened up so much more for you. But you're playing so much aggressive compared to past games. So you came in, I'm assuming, with that mindset that I'm just going at them.
Yeah. Just to go at them. It was a surprise to see this guy Paul. That's a good player.
Okay. So
this new guy.
What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, I had a hard time. Defensively, I think I was flowing, so he had a hard time taking me. But he has a fast step and he's big, long. He's a tough guy to guard.
So I look at I look at Paul. He reminds me of, and I always like comparing to NBA players, Dirk Nowitzki. He has a great touch from the outside. He's tall. He's big. Passes. Very Dirk Nowitzki-like in the games that I've seen him play.
Dirk didn't have the first step though, but he's got a quick first step, which probably
quick first step. I didn't see him shoot at all.
He definitely would, but I believe
I don't know if he'd shoot.
that between the way Damsky and Konigsberg and Koenig, your whole team as a whole, you're playing such great defense. They were actually having a difficult time getting shots off. They were not comfortable with their offense, and I give your day 3 credit for, and I'll use the word again, being disruptive. You out-rebounded them. You out-hustled them. And you didn't take any possessions off. There was not one play that I'm announcing going, oh, they didn't get back there. They should. Every possession, from the first possession to the end, and that's how you beat champions. You can't take any possessions off. You don't have time to argue with refs. You leave that for after the game. Day 3, what was going on as the game is moving along, and Smash was just hanging in. It was back and forth. During timeouts, what was being said within the team, the huddles, on day 3's team?
I think it was Damsky.
Who is the? I know Damsky's the captain, but who's the guy? As he asked, in the huddle, who's the guy to give that pep talk to? Guys, this is what we gotta do. Is it Damsky?
Yeah, it's a mixture of Damsky and Ariel. We missed Ariel.
So Ariel wasn't there.
Ariel's our guy. He gets in there. He tells everyone what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. He's a polished player. But Damsky was in there. He was telling us someone told us after the game, like, you have 5 guys, it's make it or break it. You're either getting destroyed or everyone's coming out with a fire because that's the only way you could do it. And what was it? Halfway through the game, he got left with 5 guys. Something like that.
Yeah. There was one player that hard foul, technical, and then he didn't stop, and the
Oh, he got
refs gave him
ejected.
the second
He got
technical,
ejected.
the
Oh, wow.
flagrant technical, and he was out.
I didn't even
You
know that.
know,
Wow.
yeah. It was a question. Was it too quick of a? But it was a
It
rough
was a little
foul.
quick.
But it was a rough foul. He went around his
Yeah.
neck. It was a little. It looked
He
very
came in
bad.
hard.
Yeah, yeah.
He thought this guy Paul knocked me over.
So
I was trying to
he
draw offensive
retaliated.
foul. That's what
And
happened.
yeah, I think there was. I think he misplayed the situation. Ultimately, gets thrown out, and then day three's left with 5.
Yeah, left with 5. So you could just give it your all. Like there's no other way. You're either giving it your all or giving up. So that's really what Dansky was saying, and that's what kept us going. And Dovey and Yehuda, everyone was like locked in. Yehuda had those 2 big free throws. Yosef had the logo 3 that I threw my hands up like, "What are you doing?" And it went in.
Yeah, I saw that. We watched the game.
Yeah.
And he took it early. He took it early in the shot clock too. I remember
Yeah,
that.
early in the shot
Yeah,
clock,
yeah,
he
yeah.
just chalked it up,
It
and
was on the offensive rebound. Yeah.
it was meant to be our night, I guess.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't
say,
know.
all I know of Gav. Gav to me is not a role player because a few seasons back when we had the draft league, Gav was like probably the first guy that I reached out to get on my team. He's no role player, but as you said, the last few years when you're playing on a championship team, he's not a role player. He just plays his role. It's different. It's like a star in your role. That's what he was. He knew what I have to do when I'm playing with Akaki and Azar Pollock. I got to be the guy set off screens, set screens off the ball, cut to the basket, get freed up, play defense. So he played a role, but he's no role player. And you saw it that game. You're not taking over a game just by being a role player. And if he's the role player on that team, then day three's in good shape. That's for sure. So
Gav,
before we,
and I was saying this before that you took it as it's a chip on your shoulder, but I
because the
respect your game, and
podcast,
I always
It's
say
because
the
of the
most
podcast.
right. I always say it in the best way, but I think Gitz is explaining it. You played your role, but I would say it. You shut me up. You right now. I will never ever call you a role player. You showed up, but
That's the real goal.
I'll say this, Gav, also that some players you say that and they turn into role players because that's become you wanted to show me up. You wanted to play with that chip, and great players do that. Great players saying, you know what? They call me a role player. They're saying this about me. I'm going to step up my game to show them the talent and what I am. Some players just fall into that role and they become, or they get upset, but they just become upset. But they never raise their games. We have me and Yitz guys talk to us about their great games, and they're not that good. You heard what we said, and you said, you know what? Let's go. Let's go. And you
Gav,
actually,
Appreciate that.
I appreciate your game.
is there any truth to the rumor that you guys had a huge picture of Ezzy in your locker room before the game?
Before the game, I was throwing darts at it. Right before.
That's why we let Ezzy call your game. We needed him on the sideline. Before we let you go, this week you have a huge game. I don't even know if you know the schedule.
Huge.
If you do, you guys are
Mm-hmm.
playing against No Joe Promo. They were off last week. They are ready for you guys. They
Where are
want
they in the rankings? Where are they in the rankings?
Terrell, Wagner.
They moved down to number 4. They
Mm.
moved down to number
They're
4.
Okay,
already
right.
pissed.
So they're
Yeah.
going to be coming with the chip on their shoulder.
They beat them. They can move to number one.
Yeah,
They
these
know.
guys are hard.
You got
Yeah,
That's gonna
those
be a
guys.
game.
I mean, they're huge.
They're you. They got
Who's
Wags
their
and Terrell.
Who's their point guard?
So
They-
that's
they
a good
have-
Who's their
question.
point guard?
That's a good
They
question.
play with AJ as their guard, really.
Oh,
They
right,
use
right,
AJ
right,
as a
right.
guard. They have Schwartzman, who's a great defensive player. They're a really tough defensive player team. You have Terrell, you have
Yes,
Wagner,
they got
and Shane and Schiff as scorers. But their guards are really being played with AJ and Schwartzman are really playing. But AJ's playing more of
Yeah.
the point this season.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game. Those guys are huge. They're running the floor. They have a couple blocks each of them every game. Terrell and what's his name again?
Wagner. But you know
Wagner.
what?
Yeah.
You out rebounded Smash House last week. So
That's
I don't
crazy.
think that should
That's
intimidate
Yeah,
you. I don't think that
I
should
don't think
intimidate
I'm
you.
gonna be taking Wagner. I know I was taking Terrell. Maybe Ariel. Maybe our new guy Ellie.
They
I
know
don't
each
know.
other. By the
Ariel.
way,
Ariel.
Terrell and
Yeah,
Ariel,
they play
Terrell
with
and
each
Ariel
other.
play together a lot. They know each other.
I scouted Ariel with Terrell.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, after we picked him up, they're just telling him we picked someone up, and
You want to?
he
Oh,
just
you
said
have
he's a good
called him?
player. But yeah, yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. But I'm not too worried. I think we have it. We have it. We
Listen,
have it.
now all eyes are on
Gardenberg's been
you. You've moved.
Gardenberg's been a
You've
big pickup for them.
Hmm.
Gardenberg's been a big pick. They lost their center, Millman, I think his name was, and they got Gartenberg, who was a big pickup for them.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
big.
Big pickup. We needed that. We needed that size. We definitely wouldn't get that win
Well, like
this
Gutman,
past week
Langer,
without him.
and
Yeah,
Langer,
with
yeah.
Gutman and Langer.
That's a great win for you
Yeah,
guys, Gav, and we
yeah.
hope you stay at number one because that would be
That's
crazy.
it, Gav. You know when you move into the number one
You got to
spot,
stay there.
all eyes and everybody wants to take you down. So that's the position you, being a star, help your team move to the number one
Oh
spot.
gosh,
And now eyes are going to be on your team, and
MVP.
now it's keeping that chip
it's
on
coming. It's coming.
your shoulder and your team's shoulders. That chip that you deserve that number one spot, and will hold it throughout the season.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're keeping it.
All
We're
right,
keeping it. It's
looking
ours.
forward.
It's staying ours all the way to the end.
Good. Looking for. See you on
All
Tuesday,
righty.
Gav. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, guys.
Take
Gav,
care.
Gav,
All
you
right.
know role player, baby.
Love you, Ezzy.
Take care. Enjoy.
All right.
So
All
Gav
right.
was the
Well,
Smash House player of the game, and after the game, when I went over to him, I said, "You're a Smash House." I said, "You look possessed tonight," and he said it right away. He says, "You called me a role player. I play with a chip," and I appreciate that. I appreciate a guy listening. He wants to elevate his game and show us, and it goes for teams also with power rankings. We should have been four. Show us you belong in number one spot.
show
Show
us.
us you belong
Show
in the
us.
number two. Show us. Just win, and you'll be where you'll end up. Where you're supposed to be.
We're
So
happy. We're
Yitz,
happy. We're happy to fuel guys. We're happy.
yeah.
We want to see. We love when they say you have us at number 8. We'll show you. Show us. That's great. Let's quickly, before we end this, just go through the games this week. Crazy slate of action. This might be. We say it a lot. This might be the best. You guys can judge for yourself. We have Nojo promo 3-1 as we just said against the number 1 power ranked day 3. We have Smash House 4-1 coming off that loss against Funres 3-2 coming off their loss at the
Wow.
buzzer. Huge game. We have Wayu's Farmstale, who is now 3-1 against Wabissery coming off their bye. That's going to be a
Wow,
crazy
that's
game.
gonna be a great game. That's a game I want.
But then even though we got 1-3 premium against 1-3 Gotavi, two teams we know are both better than the records going at it.
Yep.
It's a huge game for both. And the last game is Vision Vinyl, who we know can play with Mulgay and the Babyface Assassin and all those guys against Totally Accounting, 2-3. So this week's games are going to be great. We have those.
Wow.
I
Y-
mean,
y-
no
y-
joke.
y-
No
we,
joke. Might be mine.
how many? Which game? Which game would you like? Which one do you
I
like?
like the Nojo Day 3 because Nojo moved down in the power rankings,
Right.
and Day 3 is now number 1. So you're gonna get like the pregame is gonna be for the next few days. They're gonna be talking back and forth about this, and we're gonna be hearing it
Wow.
for sure. Jack's gonna be letting us know what's going on.
How many times have we've done this and we've said, "Wow, these are great games this week, great games this week," and I think that has to do with really the talent
Yeah,
of our league, and the competitiveness of
yeah.
our league. They're
The
just
talent.
great games.
You just the proof is just what happened this week. When you have a team like Smash House with a starting 5 of Malka, David Katz, Stevie Paul, Gutman didn't start, but you have Gutman, Langer, and Kelson there, Moshe Kelson there, and they lose a game. How's that possible, right? There's no way they're ever going to lose with that roster, and they lost. That means there's other teams that are really, really talented, and it just goes to show that. I mean that team loaded, right? And someone told me that they have 3 starters on that team. If you had a draft, 3 of those starters would be the top 5 picks, and they're
Yeah,
all on Smash House, and they lost this week.
yeah. Great stuff going on. The season has been amazing. I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
I get excited about the power rankings when you send it to me, what you're thinking and my thought,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is great. This is just great stuff going
This
on.
week,
I look
this week,
forward. We look forward going to the games and watching them and just being there because we're watching great basketball
yeah,
play.
all the way around. All right, Ezzy. Big day of playoffs tomorrow. Get some sleep. Don't forget to switch your clock ahead. Lose an hour of sleep. Make sure you're there on time, though. And we will see you and everybody else also on Tuesday. And there it is.